Healing your heart chakra is often like surviving a toxic relationship, because first you go through the highs and then the lowest lows. And you look back and wonder, okay, what just happened here? How did I go from feeling I was on cloud 9 to dread and despair? This trajectory, in a nutshell, is what most of us experience whilst healing our heart chakra. Because when your heart chakra first opens, you feel intoxicated with love. It's like being high on love. And what comes after that is the dark night of the soul. While the first phase is light, uplifting, it's expansive and almost addictive. In contrast, the second phase is dark, gloomy, and depressive. Now, opening your heart entails two distinct phases. And most people don't recognize this fundamental truth. And this is why things go wonky, especially for those who are newly awakening to their spiritual journey. Because they equate heart opening with love and light. They can grasp the switch from pleasure to pain. They don't understand why all of a sudden they are feeling sad or miserable. Why even the smallest of things will trigger them, hurt their feelings, make them want to cry. So most of them, out of ignorance and naivete, they cling to what's known, what's familiar, and also what feels good, which is the bliss state. And they'll reject anything that even remotely feels uncomfortable, including all their feelings. And unconsciously, what's happening in their mind is that they are hooked to this idea of recreating that bliss state, either through marijuana or addiction or finding a new partner or what have you. And this dance of polarity between bliss and despair derails most people, and it stunts their spiritual growth. And of course, I was no exception to this painful reality. And in my case, my choice of drug happened to be meditation. It really did give me a high. And I genuinely believed that if I meditated long hours, everything in my life would magically work itself out. I can laugh about it today, but not too long ago, that's how I operated. And the truth is that I had become ensnared in this bliss trap, and worse, I was unaware of it. Now, the dark night of the soul is a legit phase in the spiritual journey, and none of us can bypass it. And this phase serves a purpose, and that is to make you spiritually mature. Because at some point in your healing journey, you have to learn how to take accountability for your own behavior, how to take responsibility for your life, the quality of your relationships. You have to learn to go beyond surface level emotions, become emotionally balanced, and develop a strong mind. And all these attributes together make you spiritually strong, mature, and resilient. And this is when you start to experience true love, divine love, which is neither addictive nor fleeting. And the best way I can describe divine love is like it's an ever-flowing river that you can access anytime, anywhere, and all you need is inner peace and silence. And so my top suggestions for healing your heart chakra is number 1, don't get addicted to that blissed out state. See it as a passing phase, and of course enjoy it while it lasts. Number 2, watch out for the bliss trap and don't become entangled in it. And most importantly, learn to discern true love from false and addictive love. Now, what's happening before and during the dark night of the soul to your emotions is this. So let's break this down. Before awakening, your emotional pain is anchored in the second chakra. And most of us are unaware of this pain, and again, unconsciously we act it out in our relationships. But during the dark night of the soul, some of this pain starts moving from the second chakra to the fourth chakra. And so we start becoming aware, becoming conscious of this emotional pain. It's like the feeling receptors in your spiritual body are coming online, and you can no longer deny how you feel. You can no longer deny feeling guilt, shame, unworthiness, and the likes, because all these negative emotions are now in your face. And so the two chakras that are intimately connected with your emotions are the second chakra and the fourth chakra. So the second chakra is also called the lower emotional body, and the fourth chakra the higher emotional body. So think of second chakra as the home of all the lower emotions, and fourth chakra as the home of all the higher emotions. And what are lower emotions? Addiction, lust, wrath, rage, greed, avarice, envy, jealousy, gluttony, waste, laziness, discouragement, pride, and self-importance. Higher emotions are unconditional love, joy, forgiveness, kindness, compassion, gratitude, and the like. Until the heart is open and healed, we don't know what love is. And in relating to others, especially those of opposite sex, we confuse love with lust. And lust is what operates out of the second chakra. And so in the beginning stages of your heart opening, you want to be able to discern if you are experiencing emotions out of the second chakra or the fourth chakra. Now, to unblock your heart chakra, you will need to bring all the pain that has been anchored in the second chakra into your heart and then dissolve it through unconditional love and forgiveness. Now, the heart chakra is important because it acts like a bridge between the personality matrix, which is chakra 1, 2, and 3, and the other spiritual bodies. Another way of saying this is only when you open and heal your heart that these spiritual energies can start getting activated inside you. And that's when you start evolving beyond your personality. Now, as you know, each chakra builds on the one below it. So suffice it to say that if you haven't fully healed the first 3 chakras, your lower chakras, then your heart can't sustain unconditional love. Now, with what we have discussed as a backdrop, let's talk about why so many of us live our lives with our heart closed. How does our heart become blocked? Why does it turn numb? And the answer to all these questions is 2 words: heart wounds. Your heart can become wounded for many reasons, including previous trauma, pain you have suffered in childhood, emotional issues that you might have accumulated from other lifetimes. And by virtue of being born on this planet, all of us carry core wounds. And these core wounds include abandonment, betrayal, lack of trust, fear, cosmic rage, and unworthiness. And how these core wounds play out in your life will of course depend upon your upbringing, your soul mission, what you want to accomplish in this life, and so on. But the bottom line is that all of us carry wounds in our heart. And when you deny these wounds, that's when you close your heart. That's when you act from a place of woundedness and fear. Now, a wounded heart is a traumatized heart. Think of a feral cat. All she knows is survival. She has no reference for love, care, belonging, or even nurture. And so it's no surprise that she acts the way she does. Similarly, when a heart is wounded, it becomes cold, cunning, cruel, and calculative. When a person has physical heart ailments like, say, high blood pressure or heart blockages, they go to a doctor, get meds, and eventually find relief. But where do you go when your heart is emotionally injured? What meds do you take to heal abandonment or betrayal? Perhaps none. And denying the existence of these emotional wounds doesn't make them disappear. So how do you heal your traumatized heart? How do you restore vitality and unblock your heart chakra? Let's discuss some practical steps that you can implement right away. Number 1 is tapping into the sensation of warmth. And this is something that I have been practicing in my own life lately. And I can speak from personal experience that the sensation of warmth is like God's food for a traumatized heart. And warmth can include spending time, energy, and even money on things that warm your heart. It means hanging out with real people who nourish and nurture your soul. And 2 big enemies of warmth are conformity and complacency. So you want to be mindful of them and don't let them sneak upon you. Number 2, find people with whom you feel a heart resonance, as in people with whom you don't have to put up defenses. You know, when your heart is wounded, it's packed to the brim with pain. And so you want to consider creating tiny pockets of breathing space. A tiny pocket where you can be in nature and your heart can take a sigh of relief. Another tiny pocket where you can work through your emotions and so on. Because over time, all these tiny pockets add up and they create more space, more openness in your heart. Now, like we discussed before, if you want to unblock your heart chakra, you will need to face any and all pain that is anchored in your second chakra. This means you will have to face your shadow and address emotions of grief, sadness, and despair. Now, the mental matrices of the third chakra and the fourth chakra, which is the conscious mind and the astral mind, they are usually disconnected, meaning they are not talking to one another. And so the conscious mind doesn't know the contents of the heart, and the heart doesn't know the contents of the conscious mind. And so knowing this, you can set intentions. You can say something on the lines of, "Beloved God, it is my intention to restore communication between my third chakra and the fourth chakra." You know, at its core, unblocking the heart chakra means to devote yourself to learn how to be in love, first with yourself, then with others, and then with earth and all its creatures. And the bravest thing that you can do in your healing journey is to never forget what love feels like. This is how you preserve your beautiful heart. This is how you preserve that divine spark inside of you. Now, I hope the suggestions I shared in this video are supportive in your healing journey. In the description below, I have added links to articles from where I source content for this video. So if you would like to research further, I highly suggest checking them out. In addition, I've put together a mind map with all the key pointers I discussed, share in this video. If you would like to download it, feel free to do so. The link is in the description. As always, please only take what resonates, discard all the rest. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next video.